All right, y'all. We are going to get started in a couple of minutes. Thank you for your patience as we get everything going. We will get started in a couple of minutes. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We will get started in a couple of minutes. This is the BD Mobile Apps live tutorial for May 4th. We will get started very shortly. Okay, it is currently 7 o'clock, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We want to thank everyone who has joined the live tutorial. It's currently 7 o'clock Eastern, and this is for BD Mobile Apps customers, potential prospects. If you're thinking about joining, you're already a client, your previous client, and you are thinking about rejoining, this is all for you. So we're here to answer any questions that you have. We do have an agenda. However, at any point, if you would like to put your question in the chat, we can answer your question right there in the chat, or I can also answer it right here on the live stream. So we'll go ahead and get started. And I'm going to start off by sharing my screen. And there's a lot of things that we're going to go over today. And at any point, if I'm going too fast, you can always stop me. So let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to go ahead and share the screen. And I do encourage you, if you have joined the live chat, to just go ahead and announce yourself in the chat, because what we will do is we're going to tailor this live tutorial towards the people who have joined. So if we see that a specific client has joined and we know that maybe they've had issues in the past with certain things, then we'll specifically tailor this live tutorial towards your questions or your previous issues or current issues, whatever the case may be. So go ahead and drop your name, your app, so on and so forth in the live tutorial. So the first thing I do want to point out before we get started is we are currently running a special for the month of May. It is a limited time where we're running 20% off for any of our upgrades. You can purchase any of them, one-time fee, 20% off. We can go over any questions you have on any of those, but I just wanted to make sure I point that out before we get started. But moving on from there, the first thing that I wanted to go over is with developer accounts. So one of the main issues that we've seen with our clients is trying to go through and handle all the agreements and everything related to their developer accounts. And that's an easy thing to do if you go through your frequently asked questions. We have all of the steps in there. However, we understand that maybe your first time doing it and it might not be as easy for you. So the first thing I want to do is encourage you to go to our website, to the support center right here, what I'm showing on the screen, and you can see frequently asked questions for the App Store and Google Play. And in here, we have several answers to a lot of common questions, such as how do I review the outstanding agreements in my Apple developer account? I signed up for an Apple developer account, but it says it's still pending. What do I do? Android now has the requirement where you have to get 12 people to test your app for 14 days before they will allow it to go into the Play Store or even apply to go into the Play Store. Let me say that correctly. And we have an answer to that question is there. You already have an Android app. Can we update your existing app? So many questions just related to the App Store right here. And I guarantee you a lot of those questions that you may have could be answered here. You might get an email from Apple that says your distribution certificate is going to expire in 30 days. What do you need to do? Well, we have an answer for that as well. So I just want to first of all encourage you to go into our support page and scroll through and see the questions that we have in here. You can also search on the top right corner. So you could say you need to review an agreement. You type in review, it's going to come back with the frequently asked questions that talk about reviews. And you can see that it's highlighted in there where review is pointed out. So utilize that. A lot can be answered just by going through, looking at the support questions that we have in there. Also, I want to remind you that we do have a 24/7 support center. They can handle simple questions. So let's say you have a question about one of these FAQs. That tier one support staff has a little bit more information than what you may see here on the support page. And you can call them and you can ask that specific question to them and they can answer it right away. Now, if they can't answer it, what they'll do is they'll try to transfer it to tier two support. And that could be anyone from Anil to Marshall, to me, to Michael. We typically will rotate in that through the business day to handle live support calls. So you can ask to be transferred if they can't answer your question, and maybe we can answer it at that point. However, if not, you can leave a message. We will get back to you within one business day. You can also send us a message in the on the support page, and we can respond to you that way, or you can email us directly, support@bvmobileapps.com. So those are the various ways that we can answer your question, and you can get help that you need for your app, whether you're dealing with your developer account, you're trying to figure out how to get the most out of your app, you have a question about a feature that you're supposed to have, so on and so forth. These are the channels in which you can get these questions answered pretty easily. One other thing that I do want to point out, if you go back to the pricing page, everyone has seen the pricing page because you've had to go through here to pick your plan. But I want to encourage you to go back to that pricing page and take a look at the features that come with each plan, because it'll show you what you can get out of that plan, how to get the most out of your subscription. For instance, some people don't realize that once you get the Diamond plan, that you can actually get the different features for the add-ons. For instance, the mobile app, mobile DJ dashboard, pre-roll audio, sponsors and links section. All those things come with the Diamond plan, so you don't have to purchase them again on the upgrades page because they come with that plan. So if you are already an existing client, I highly encourage you to go back to the pricing page and review what you see there as far as the features that come with each plan, because I guarantee that you may see something that you didn't realize that you were supposed to get with the plan, and that's something that you can take advantage of and get the most out of your app. So those are the preliminary things I just wanted to go over as we're just going through getting started with this live tutorial. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty here. First and foremost, we have been releasing updates recently because there has been an issue with connectivity back to our server. We're not sure exactly what happened, but for some reason, some networks are not resolving the URL back to us. URL meaning bvmobileapps.com, pulling the information from there and then loading it in your app. And if it can't resolve to it, then you may not get any content in your app. And so we have a fix for that, and we've been releasing those updates as fast as we can. However, one specific thing has been blocking us from doing that, and that is agreements in your App Store Connect account. Apple always releases new agreements in your Apple developer account, and you have to agree to those, I believe, quarterly. is what I've typically have seen, but I don't really know the rhyme or reason of when they release it. But if they have an updated agreement, you do have to go through, review it, and accept it. We can't do it for you because only the account holder can review and accept agreements. So I want to run through that process really quickly because it's very important that today, when you get a chance, that you log into your Apple developer account and review any agreements that you have outstanding, because that will hold us up from being able to go through and update your app. So what you can see right here on the screen is our Apple developer account for bbmobileapps.com. And once you log in there and you go to the business section, you will see that there are two agreements down here, a free apps agreement and a paid apps agreement. And next to the paid apps agreement, there's a view and agree to terms. I need to click that and it'll show the agreement. I will review it and then I can go through and accept it. I'm not going to do that right now, but that would be the process. You would just go scroll through, click accept. It may do two-factor authentication and send you a code to your phone where you have to put the code in to they want to make sure that it's you. But that's pretty much it. Before you do that, though, there may be agreement in here in your Apple developer account. I don't have one right now, but if there was one, it would show up in blue. So, Danny D, perfect example. Glad you're here. I know that that's something that you've dealt with before. First thing I want to do is point out that we do have an FAQ that talks about that. So let me go back to the FAQs right now. The easiest thing to do is go in and search for agreement. It will take you down to the agreement, the FAQ that talks about how to go through and review your agreements. So how do I review the outstanding agreements in my Apple developer account? Well, there are links in there that will take you there. First of all, it's going to take you to the developer account section that I'm showing right here. And if there is an agreement, it will be right here at the top. There'll be a blue button that says review agreement. You click it. It'll show you the agreement. You hit accept, and then that's it. After that, then you would go to your App Store Connect account, which is apps right here. You can click that, and it'll take you into your App Store Connect account. You click business, and it takes you back to this page that I just showed you. Now, I might have been going a little bit fast. If you miss any of that, again, go back to the support page. There is actually a link in here that you can copy. I'm going to copy and put it in this other browser, and it's going to take you directly to that page. So you can review and agree to terms. It'll pop up the agreement. There's the review button right here where you can agree, and then that's it. Once you do that, then just email us or send us a message and say you've taken care of all of your agreements, and then we can go in and we can update your iPhone app. But again, that's something that they do on a quarterly basis. So it's a good idea to go in there and review that stuff, because if we have an important update, and then we have to wait for you to review the agreements, that's just a delay in us being able to distribute any updates that we have for you. And I encourage you to come in here and check it periodically, because this is also where you can go in and you can check the trends and the downloads for your app. So if you can't come into your BB Mobile Apps account and you go to the statistics section, you'll notice that there's nothing in there. So if I come to mobile stats, there's really nothing in here, but you know you have more downloads than what you see in here. Well, in order to get your accurate downloads, you have to go into your developer account and you have to go into trends, and then it will tell you the summary of how many units you had sold. Now, sold just means downloads. That's all that is, but that's where you can go and you can figure out how many people have downloaded your app. You can get the summary, you can get the retention, you can do the different date ranges. So you can play around with all that and figure out who's downloading your app, how often, so on and so forth. But that's important for you to check out periodically anyway. So that is a reason for you to come into your App Store Connect account anyway, just to check things. And if you ever forget this link, in the mobile stats section, there is a link that says view detailed stats for iPhone. Same thing goes for Android as well. If you want to see your stats for Android, you can click this and it'll take you into your Google developer account and you can see the same thing there. So I'm just going to pause for a second and just see if we have any questions in here right now. I know Danny is having, he posted some questions in here as well. And again, I want to encourage you, if you have any questions, now is a great time to post it in there, even if it's something specific to your app. Someone else may have the same question, and that's why we're doing this live tutorial, this live group session, because someone else may have the same question and we can answer it for you as well as somebody else as well. Doesn't matter how specific it is, we'll go through and we'll help you answer that question. So I'm going to pause here, and if there are any questions, you can put that in the chat and I'll come back to that. So now let me move on to the next topic here. So there have been certain times where people didn't realize that their payment was due. You know, their payment may be declined. You may not know that it's coming up. There are two things that you can do for that if you're not certain when your payment is going to be due. If you come into your BB Mobile Apps account and click Statement, it will show you any transactions that have been made in your account. Now, this is a test account, so there's, it's kind of wacky. You see some things from 06, 03. This is just a test account. However, your account will look a little bit more like this, where it is regular payments that you can see. And I want to show you that on the 12th of each month, a payment is made. So that is an easy way where you can come in and you can see, okay, my payments are going to be due on the 12th of each month. That way you have a predictive way to know when your payment will be due. And again, just going back to that, if you're in your BB Mobile Apps account and you click on Statement, it will take you to that page and you can see all of the transactions that have been made in your account. And that's a good way to see, well, when is my next payment going to be due? Well, it was due on the 12th every other month. It's going to be due on the 12th this coming month as well. The other thing that we can do for you is we can set up a payment reminder for you. And that's something that we're working on adding into the site where you can just click a button and do that. However, if you want a payment reminder, we can manually set that up for you. Just send us a message on the Contact Us page, or you can email us and say, hey, can you set up a reminder for me so I can get a reminder 3 days before my payment is due? And we can do that for you as well. Okay, let's see. The other part that goes along with that is right now, let's say, for instance, your payment is due on the 12th each month, but you want to change that because let's say you get paid on the 1st and 15th and you want to have your payment after the 15th after you get paid to make sure you have the money there for it. You can make a payment on, let's say, the 16th, 17th, whatever, by just going to our website, going to the pricing page, selecting your plan again, whatever your current plan is, logging into your account. So I'll do a test one right now. It's going to take you back here to the checkout page. You go through this process, make the payment, and then what's going to happen at that point is, let's say it's the 4th right now, and you want your payments due on the 4th. You'll make a payment on the 4th, and what we will do is we will refund you the difference between what is still left on the payment that is for the current month. So again, if you want to change your payment date at any point, you can come in and just make a payment on that date that you want it to take effect. We'll refund you whatever's currently left on your current plan, and then from that day forward, now that your payments will be due on the 4th. My next payment would be due on June 4th, July 4th, so on and so forth. So I wanted to make sure that you know that you have that option to change your payment date at any point. All right, so let's see. Next question. So we have an issue with metadata being displayed incorrectly on the app and the artwork. Yes, that is an issue, and we've seen that several times before. And I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing it up. That's been a common issue. So I'm going to explain how that works. when you put your radio station information in your BV account, what we get is the streaming URL, and we pull that streaming URL for your stream. The only other thing that we typically get with that stream is the title of what's currently playing. Even if your MP3s are set up and have the ID three tags are all set up in your MP3s, everything is all there. You have your album covers. That doesn't get transferred when we're reading the stream because your streaming service doesn't send that. It doesn't matter whether it's Live 365, Radio.co, Fleet DJs. The streaming server does not send the actual album cover with the stream. So what we have to do is we take that title of the song and we send it to Apple to process it, give us the results, and we take the first result back and we show whatever album cover they send us back as the first result. But sometimes that may not be what you want it to be. So what you can do is you can turn that off. That's the easiest thing to do is just turn that feature off. And we have an FAQ in here that talks about that, how to go through and turn that off. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have our app, the BV Mobile Apps app. Download that from the App Store or Google Play. Once you do that, you log into your account in the app. You go to the More tab, and under there, you'll see a profile option. You click Edit, and at that point, you can turn that feature off. It'll be on at that point. You can turn it off. And from that point on, it will only show your radio station logo. It will not try to pull the album covers from Apple. It'll just show your radio station logo. So if you're not happy with the results that you're getting from that, you can turn that feature off altogether. However, what I do recommend is setting up your program schedule. Your program schedule is how you can control what appears on your radio player at all times. So let's say you turn off the album covers. The number one priority is the current show that's on the air. So you can set up your program schedule at any point to show what show is on the air, or let's say you want to do a sponsorship and a promotion and you want to sell that space. And let's say from 6 to 10 p.m., this show is sponsored by Joe's Tire Shop. And you have an image of Joe's Tire Shop up there, and it's appearing on your radio player, and you're getting paid from Joe's Tire Shop. You can put that up there. Or let's say you want to have the picture of the DJs that are currently on the air. You can go in there and set up your program schedule by going to the radio station section, which I'm showing on the screen right now, clicking on program schedule, and then setting up your schedule from there. So let me find the schedule. Okay, so this is just a test schedule that we have set up. Once you click on program schedule, it shows you the different shows that you have in here. You click edit, and then you can set up the days that that show is on the air, as well as the image that will appear from this time to the end time from these days. Now, if you don't want, if it's not a specific show, but let's say you're just sponsoring it, you can just set this show name to be whatever your station name is. It can be my radio station sponsored by Joe's Tire Shop with an image of Joe's Tire Shop there. And now you have a way where you're still showing your radio station name, the sponsorship, as well as an image for who is paying you. So that's how you can control that. To go back to the original point of it not showing the album covers, right now we don't have a solution for that because we're not getting the album covers from your streaming stations. We've tested multiple different streaming providers. They just do not send that information along with the actual song and song title because that's all that the app is getting. So these are the options that you can have for being creative and showing something on the screen other than your radio station image. Okay, so let's see. All right, so let's see. Let me go back into the chat and see if we have any other questions. I see DJ Danny. DJ Danny typed in. Oh, he deleted a question. So yeah. But Danny, if you have another question, feel free to post it in there. We will answer your questions. in there as well. So let's go back and let's get back on to the Google developer accounts, the developer accounts. So one thing that I want to go over is how you can go in and you can see your statistics for your developer account as well. So let's see. So I'm going to pull up a Google developer account and I will show you some tips on that as well. All right. So here we have a Google developer account. We just have a couple of apps in here, and I'm going to focus in on this app right here, News and Gossip. It really is just another test app in here that we have available on our account. So when you come into your Google developer account, there is an option in here that says statistics. Once you click on your app, once you come in here to statistics, you can actually get all the information about the downloads for your app, as well as the region for it, um, the region in the world, the region in the United States. You can go through and you can filter all of this information, and you can do it by date. So I want to make sure that I go through and point that out, that all these statistics are available in the Google developer account, just like I did in the Apple developer account as well. And there's a lot of reports. I mean, it's very robust, but there's a lot of information in there. And if you're like DJ Danny, where you have in-app purchases in there, you can go in the statistics and you can view more statistics about the subscriptions that you have as well. So I want to make sure that people utilize this resource because it's a lot of information in there. As you can see, I'm highlighting over the grid, and it'll tell me the different countries from Nigeria to Italy to the United States to Kenya that have downloaded this test app that we have in here, News and Gossip. And you can see all the information in there as well. So I wanted to make sure I circled back on the Google side because we talked about the Apple side, and Google is in there as well. All right, let's see. Moving on to the next step. So I mentioned earlier before that it's great to review the pricing chart because you can see all the features that come with your service. One of the big things that we offer that some of the other developers don't, hosting platforms don't, is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Those are two great features for radio stations because it makes your app available on the car dashboard when someone plugs in their app, or if they have a Wi-Fi enabled radio player and it's just connecting wirelessly. Your app can appear right there on the car dashboard, and the user, all they have to do, the driver has to click it, and then they're listening to your radio station or your podcast, your pre-recorded mixes, whatever the case is, just real easy. They don't have to fiddle around with their phone. It's right there on their dashboard. And that comes with the Platinum plan and the Diamond plan. If you're not certain whether or not your app has Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, is real simple. Just plug your app in your car and check and see if it pops up on the dashboard. And that's how you can see. Now, it's real simple with Android Auto because we can go through and we can review the agreement for you. Google allows us as an admin in your account to review the agreement that is needed for us to submit Android Auto, and then we can go through and we can submit it. However, it's not as simple for Apple CarPlay. Apple makes you actually apply for the credentials to add it, and then we can add it. And we can't apply for you. They only let the account owner do it. So very important. If you go back to the support page, which I'm going to refer back to several times, and you just search up CarPlay, we have a support topic that says, what do I need to do to set up CarPlay? There are step-by-step instructions in order for you to do that. The first thing that you need to do is you need to go to the Contact Us page on the Apple account. And if you're already logged in, like I am, and in another browser, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to this page, and it's going to say, thank you for your interest in CarPlay. And what you need to do at that point is answer these questions. So typically you won't have this field, the organization field. We're working with multiple accounts, and so we have the organization field, and we can select the organization that we're working with at that time. However, from that point on, what you would want to do is basically just follow along with the FAQ. It tells you each thing that you need to select. So you need to select audio as the app type. It says, tell us about your app. All you have to do is copy and paste exactly what we have in the FAQ. Paste that in there. It asks you what specific features do you plan to put in there. You just want to say audio or radio, or you want to put your mixes in there. That's all you need to do. The last field is optional. You do not need to put your App Store URL in there. At that point, you want to go ahead and click the check box and then click agree. And then at that point, that's it. Once you do that, it will tell you that we have received your application, and it will send you a confirmation once they have reviewed it and they have accepted you. And at that point, you can forward that to us and say, hey, I've been approved for CarPlay. Can you please add that to my app? So I want to make sure you knew that process, because if you don't have CarPlay right now, we can't immediately add it. You have to go through this process to do it, and we can't do this part of the process for you. All right, let's see. I want to go back to the comment section, and let's see who we have on it. Danny has another question. So Danny asked for an explanation on why the Android users have not been able to access the content. So what's happening is, and we explained this earlier in the session, is, and I'm going to get a little technical, and then I'll just kind of back out from there. So whenever you type in any domain, so let's say you're typing in bvmobileapps.com or you're typing in google.com, it doesn't matter. What happens is that is resolved to an IP address. And that IP address tells your device, your phone, your laptop, your tablet, doesn't matter what device, where to go to bvmobileapps.com, where to go to google.com, whatever you're typing in. Well, there were certain networks. We narrowed them down to, let's say, I think it was like T-Mobile was one of them, AT&T. So there were a couple of cellular networks out there that when your device was trying to connect to our server, let's say bvmobileapps.com, it could not find it because it couldn't resolve it to an IP address, even though other places could. And we worked with those networks. We tried to reset their systems. We reached out to them, but they either weren't responsive or weren't helpful. We tried to do certain things on our side, but our server was up and running. If you were on Wi-Fi and connected, it would work. If you were on certain networks, it would work. It was just certain networks, they were not resolving to our website. So what we had to do was make the tough, difficult decision to go through and update everyone's app so that we could change where it was pointing. And I'm going to just kind of bring it back out to Danny's question. So when you opened up, let's say, your Android app, Danny, what would happen is when you open up the app, that spinner in the bottom center spins, and what's happening is it's going to our server to load content. And that content is what tabs should be in your app, what blogs should be in there, what radio stations should be in there, what pictures should be in there, everything, all the content, the list of radio stations, including the program schedule, all that is being loaded at that time. And usually it takes really quick because that's a really small file that's loaded, and then the app continues on, and then the user is in the app and they see whatever tabs you have set up. Well, if it can't connect, then it's going to say no content. And that's what was happening. So we went through and we updated your app, and Danny is actually asking, I'm going to go through and just check really quickly in your account right now. So Some people's apps are currently already updated and some are not. But for instance, for you, Danny, if you go into your Google developer account right now, you would see that your app is actually, I can't see it from right now because I'm hosting this stream. However, what I would like for you to do is, Danny, go into your Google developer account. You can go to play.google.com. Actually, I'm not even going to have you remember that. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. So this is the link to go to your Google developer account. We just put it in the chat right now. This will take you to your Play console, and at that point, it will load up back to this page right here, and it'll have your name, your organization or personal account, your account ID, so on and so forth, and it'll have your apps listed there. We've already updated your app. If it currently says in review, then that means that Google hasn't reviewed it yet, or they haven't finished their review. And that's the reason why some people may not be able to load content in your app because it's still under review. If this is blank, like it is for these apps, then it means that the review is done. And what needs to happen at that point is your users need to go to the Play Store and update their version of the app. Some people don't have automatic updates on, and if they don't have it on, then they're still seeing the old version of your app. They need to go into the Play Store and update your app. And what I would recommend that you do is just post a blog in your account encouraging people to go through and update your app, which you can do in here. And you can come in and do add new blog and just say, hey, we have a new update available for our app. Make sure you go to your Play Store or Apple App Store and update it. And they'll get a notification to do that. But again, just go through and check and see if that review has already been approved yet, because if it hasn't, then we're just waiting on Google. Now, that process could take anywhere from 1 to 2 days all the way up to 7 days. If it takes longer than a week, then we need to get involved and we need to reach out to Google and say, why is this review still pending? But typically, 1 to 2 days is what we're seeing. It could go all the way up to 7, but that is where you need to check and see what the current status is. Okay, let's see. So, want to make sure I answered that question. All right. So yeah, Danny, he said that his app is still currently in review. And so what that means is that you just need to wait for Google to go through and review it. If the last updated date on your app has been longer than 7 days, then reach back out to us and say, hey, my review has been sitting here longer than 7 days. Can you show me how to reach out to Google so that I can get them to take a look at that, and we'll help you with that process. But if it's been less than 7 days, then it's best to just wait, because they're going to take at least 2 days just to listen to the message that we send them. So you might as well wait on that. Also want to give a shout out to Ready Rock D. Thank you for joining the chat. Ready Rock D, been a loyal supporter of BD Mobile Apps, and we appreciate you joining. If you have any questions, Ready Rock D, I know you travel all around the world DJing, so I know you're busy, man. Thank you for joining as well. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we can answer it, even if it's specific to your app and your account. Someone else may have the same question, so answering your question may help someone else. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get back on track with the agenda that I had, but if anyone else has any questions or want me to go back over anything, please let me know. Danny D has a question about 7 days or 7 business days. With Apple or Google, rather, it's 7 days because they do reviews on the weekend as well. So if it's 7 days from the date, just straight days, more than that, then we need to contact Apple or Google and say, why is this review still pending? And really, it's really just a matter of, and I'll show you what that process is. If you don't want to wait for us to help you with that, all you would do in here is you would click help, and then you would create a support ticket. And at that point, what's going to happen is you can say app releases, and you're having an issue with app publishing, and you said I submitted a new app or update and it's not live. And then you would just select the app, type in, I have an update, it's not reviewed yet, it's still under review. You don't really need to upload a screenshot with that, because I mean, it's, they'll be able to see when they look at your account, and then you click submit. And that's basically all we're going to help you do. So if you don't want to wait for us, again, all you have to do is, once you're in your Google developer account, I'll go back over that one more time. From this page, you just click help, create support ticket, app releases. And what we're going to actually do is we'll create an FAQ on this so you can go through the steps. We don't have one currently, but I'm glad you brought that up, Danny, because this is something that somebody else may want to do. App releases is the topic. App publishing, because you want to have your app published to the store. You want to select your app, and then select that I submitted a new app or app update, but it's not live. And then just describe the issue and say, hey, it's been longer than 7 days. Why hasn't my app gone to the store? You don't need to submit a screenshot, because this really isn't a troubleshooting issue. This is more, you want an update on the current review. And once you have entered this information, you'll see the submit button becomes enabled. You can submit it direct to Google. So again, that's a great question, Danny. If you want to submit that support ticket now, you can do that. You don't even have to wait the 7 days if you don't want to do that. All right, let's see. Okay, well, thank you, Danny, for posting that, and I'm glad you asked that question. All right, so let's see. I want to show you something else related to your app that maybe you want to take advantage of, and that is the featured text and link. And I believe, Danny, you may be taking advantage of this or not. I'm not sure, Ready Rock D, but whoever else has joined, if you go into your BB Mobile Apps account and go to the mobile apps section, you can utilize the featured text and featured link. So let's say you want to put something in here. This feature text will appear on the More tab. So you have complete control over that. And what I'm going to show you right now is an example. So this is my test account, and this is my test app. And depending on how your tabs are set up, it may appear here under the 3 dots menu. So you can see Book Us is here, which is what my feature link is. It appears here on my blogs tab. It appears here under my audio tab as well. So it's just another option there, but more than likely people would see it on your More tab. You can see Book Us right here. And it's, when people click it, it's going to open that link, whatever link you have in there. So that's a way that you can do things like, let's say you have music submissions and you want to have people submit music. You can create a feature link in text and put that in there, and people can submit music to your radio station. Or let's say you have an application for DJs and they, for people to join your station, you can put that in there. Really doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want, and you can change it whenever you want. And I want to point that out. So let's say I want to change that from Book Us to Book Me. So I've made that change. I click update. Now you'll get the message that says your settings have been updated, but I don't see that change in there. So I'm wondering, like, when is it going to change? Well, you have to exit out of the app completely. On Android and Google, that means swiping up and exiting out of that app. Now, when I open it up, it's going to load the settings. And when I come in there, sorry, clicked on the station by mistake. Let's do that one more time. So now when I come in here to the More tab, it is Book Me, just like I just made that change. So you can make that change whenever you want, complete control over that. And I don't see enough people utilize that, but that is a great way to put links in your app, just your own link in there on the More tab that people can go to, and you can direct people to it in your broadcast. So let's say you have a station and you want to direct people to say, hey, reach out to me about advertising because you want to generate money from your app. You can say, if you want to inquire about advertising, go to the More tab and click the Advertise with Us link. And then that link can go to, let's say, a page on your website, or maybe it just is your email address. And it's, people will email you. Whatever you want it to be, you can utilize that for whatever you want. And again, I want to encourage you to do that. A couple other things that you'll see in there are the phone number, the text number. Make sure you're utilizing that. If you allow people to call or text you, make sure you put that in the app so people can reach out to you there as well. If you have a Spotify page, you can put a link to your Spotify account in there, and you won't see it when you come in here. However, it is available in your actually, let's see. I believe that is available in the BV Mobile Apps app. So yeah, I don't have this listed loaded on here, but let's see if I have it on here. No, I don't. We're going to be updating this to add that in there where you can add your Spotify link on the website. However, if you go into our app, the BV Mobile Apps app, and you go to the same section where you have all of your other social media links, you can add a Spotify link. So let's say you have a playlist on Spotify and you want to promote that, you can have that in your app, and that will just load the Spotify playlist when someone clicks that. Obviously, they'd have to have the Spotify account on their Spotify app on their phone. It will load up the Spotify playlist that you have once they click that. Let's see. DJ Calvin. Shout out to DJ Calvin with Live 504 Radio. I noticed that you wanted to get your account back up and running. I want to pass this along, and this is for the people that have joined the live stream. If you're not currently a client right now, this only works right now if you have not been a client for at least I believe it is three months if your service has been inactive. So you can't use this promo code I'm about to give you if you miss your payment and you want to make the payment like right now to get it back up and running. But if you haven't been an active client and you already have your app, you can use the promo code free month and go back and reactivate it, and you'll get the first month free with your reactivation. And that's just to give you a little buffer room to get back up and running so that you have time to make sure your developer accounts are set up and make sure that everything in your account is set up. And then you can hit the ground running after that first month with everything going. So if you've been inactive for 3 or more months or more, make sure you utilize that promo code as free month, all one word, not case sensitive, free month. You can reactivate your service and give you a little buffer room to get back up and running as far as content in your app and your developer accounts. Okay, so let's see. Want to again encourage you, if you have any questions, now is the time. We have about 15 minutes left in this tutorial, and you can go through and you can ask us any questions. I also want to remind you that we are currently running a special for 20% off any of our upgrades. You can easily get there on the blog's editor page. We have a big banner there, or you can go to our site and just go to bvmobileapps.com/upgrades. And we are running 20% off any of these upgrades that you see in here. One of the great upgrades that we have going is the app promo card, which we will create a high quality print quality image that you can use, and you can go out and you can print flyers off of. I know a lot of people don't print flyers anymore. However, some people still do. And if you want to print something, this is a print quality image that you can use. Or you can also just have it posted on social media with the QR code that'll make it easy for people to download your app. And, we'll print that and you can have that image. You can do whatever you want with that. Now, I want to show you a little hint here. You can generate this QR code on your own whenever you want. I'm going to show you how to do that. We actually have an FAQ that will show you how to do that as well. And I'll pull it up right now. So how can I create a QR code for my app? So with Google, they allow you to create QR codes with any URL, including your own. So the first thing is on your account, in your account. So let's say I'm here in my account right now. Let's pull up a different one. So we'll come over here. I'm on my profile. Everyone has this URL right here, bvmobileapp.com/user/ whatever your username is. And right now I'm in the BV testing account. And if I click it, it's just going to take me to what would be a mobile friendly page that if I pull this up on my phone, it's going to be full screen. If I'm on my iPhone, it's going to take me directly to the App Store. If on the Android, take me directly to the Google Play Store. So they wouldn't even see this page. But let's say you want to create a QR code so it will take people directly to downloading your app. What you want to do is first grab this URL, which is just bvmobileapps.com/user/ whatever your username is. Then pull this into the browser like I have it right now. And then in Google Chrome, you can actually click this three dots menu and then do, where is it? Oh, cast, save, and share. And you have the option right here that says create QR code. They'll give you a QR code for this URL that we currently have in the browser. And then at that point, all you have to do is download it. And you're going to download the image that you have right there on your computer. And you have your QR code right there. And you can do whatever you want to do with it. So again, I'll just go through that process one more time. So you pull up your profile on our site, or you can just type it in, your username. It's bvmobileapps.com/user, no S, just user, / whatever your username is. So I'll give you an example. Let's do DJ Danny D. This is DJ Danny D's. Or let's do, for instance, Ready Rock D. Ready Rock D. And at that point, go to the three dots menu, cast, save, share, and then create QR code. And now I have a QR code that I can share that if someone were to scan this, it's going to take them directly to the App Store or Google Play for Ready Rock D's app or your app. So again, that's highly underutilized tool, creating that QR code and then putting that wherever you want to on your website. You can print it out wherever you need it. You can create a QR code for your app that way. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go back to the chat and see what other questions we have. Okay, so all right. So with DJ Danny D, actually, good question. I actually emailed the answer to you. I didn't, but Michael did earlier to you. I believe that you have a subscriber, and this is applicable for you as well, Ready Rock D, because you also have in-app purchases. I don't know, Danny D. You can show me if you can just give me consent in the chat if I can demonstrate using your developer account. I don't know if you want people to see your developer account on this tutorial, but if it's okay, let me know, and I will go through and I will use your account as a demo. But just type in the chat if that's okay. Otherwise, I'm just going to guide you through it and show you from there. But what would happen with that is you go in your developer account and you can create codes for your in-app purchases, and you can give those codes to people, and they can utilize those codes to get the first month free, the year free, whatever you want. Now, specifically with DJ Danny D, if you check your email, Michael emailed you a link that you can give to your subscriber that you said wasn't able to go through and do it. And then at that point, put the code in and it should work. So check your email on that. And the same thing for you, Danny, for Ready Rock D. If you want to allow certain people to get the purchases for free, we can help you set up those codes for people to do that. All right, so let's see. We have some other questions coming in. Uh, Now, the question with how can you check the stats on the QR code from Google to see how many people downloaded? Well, you can't, but that's actually the beauty of it. So whenever you use one of these services out here to generate a QR code, what's happening is they're creating a QR code on their site, and maybe they're giving it to you for free, maybe they're making you pay for it. But typically, if they're giving it to you for free, then there's some type of stipulations with that. They're probably doing some type of advertising, or they're capturing your data. It's something. I mean, they're not just doing it for free just out the kindness of their heart. They have a business. They're monetizing your QR code somehow. However, when you do it with Google, the user is going directly to that link. It's not going to some third party service and then to the link. It's going directly to the link that's in here. So there is nothing that's actually monitoring the statistics with it. And the best part about that is it'll never go down. It'll never be inoperable. One of the downsides of using a third party service to generate your QR code is, let's say you're paying them a monthly fee and you stop paying that fee, your QR code won't work anymore. And now people who scan it, they won't see it. It's better if you have a QR code that takes people directly to your app. And really, what you want is the downloads, the statistics for your downloads. You want to go into your developer accounts and you want to see those stats. If you can't see the QR code stats, I think that's fine. The real stats are how many downloads you have, and then once people download it, where people go from there. But good question about the downloads for your QR code. You will not see any statistics for that because it takes people directly to the link in there. There's no third party in there to capture those stats. Okay, so Danny D asks, is there a way to add push notifications so his audience will get alerted when he goes live outside of the scheduled time? So the way that you would have to do that is there's two things that you can do. One is you can set up push notifications, and this isn't the most eloquent way. I'll be the first to admit that. However, it can be done. You would basically just utilize your blog. So the blog will allow you to send push notifications, and you can post date your blog to whenever you're going to be on the air. So right now it is going to be the current date. So for me, I'm out on West Coast, so it's 1:56 for me. But let's say my show comes on at 4 o'clock tomorrow. So I could come in here and I could change this date to the 5th for 4 p.m. And then I'm going to give it the name of the show. And I'll just type in something like, we're currently on the air. Just like you would with any blog, but it doesn't have to be anything extensive. Put in a couple of keywords and then submit it. And then at 4 o'clock tomorrow, your users will get that push notification that you are live on the air. And at that point, that will basically serve the purpose that you're trying to execute, which is having people get notified when you're on the air. That is the manual way to do it. The other thing that you can do is you can encourage people to set the notification for a specific show. So one thing you may not notice in there, but which each show, they can actually set the notifications up themselves. So if they open your app and they pull up a radio show, for instance, here, let's see if this has a program schedule. It does. So once you click there, there's an icon here that says get notified when this show is on the air. And they just have to click it and it'll say notification turned on. You'll receive a notification when the name of the show goes live. And it'll show that yellow bell status at that point that it's been set. They can go back there and it'll see that they will receive a notification when that show goes live. So that's the way the user can set the notification, and they can turn it off by coming in here and just clicking the button again and turning it off. So either you can do it manually by putting a blog, and the headline will be the notification they receive, or you can encourage your users to go into the program schedule and do it that way manually themselves. So those are two ways that it can be done. Okay, we are wrapping things up right now. We only got a couple of minutes left. Again, I want to encourage you to check out the support pages. We have answers to a lot of questions that you may have. Just come through here. I would actually encourage you to come through and just scroll through and read. There may be questions you didn't even know you had until you read them and say, "Oh man, yeah, how do I do that?" And then you have the answer right there. You can also utilize the search to search if you have a specific question. And again, I want to remind you that you can contact us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week using our support number. That support staff can only answer basic tier 1 questions, but if you have a more detailed question, they can take down your question, hand it over to tier 2, and we will respond within 1 business day, either by email or we will call you. I want to encourage you to add this number to your contacts on your phone, because typically what we will do is we'll text you before we call you, and then we'll call you. And what's happening is, what we're seeing is, people will call folks and they won't get the call, and that's because the call is just being silenced because it's not in your contacts. It's showing up as, an unknown sender, unknown number. Add our number to your contacts under BV Mobile App Support. That way you'll be guaranteed to get the call or message when we try to reach out to you, because the last thing we want to do is, we're trying to reach out to you, we try to, then you call us back, and then now we call you the next day, and it's just a delay in when we can help